flaming flowers brightly blaze, swirling clouds in violet haze, reflecting Vincent's eyes of china blue, colors changing hue, morning fields of amber rain, weathered faces lined in pain, and soothed beneath the artist's loving hands. Now I understand what you tried to say.
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Duncan Showroom. My name is Longevity John, specifically to those people that are tuning in tonight. And we just made sure that all of the people that might know Martyn would be knowing that this is happening. So there might be a lot of people watching from around the world who won't know who I am. But now you do. Yeah. And I got a little bit of a sniffle. That's okay because I was just out in the cold. And the sniffle's okay because if you got a sniffle, then you don't have COVID-19, right? You just got a cold. Whatever. It's happening and it's decimating the whole music industry. It's you can only imagine. There's 8 shows through the States that Martyn's not going to get a chance to do, and it's just as I sit on Facebook and watch all the people I know in this business that are just having to cancel and put away 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks of their time. It's going to be hard on everyone. So those people that are watching tonight, and even you people in the audience, keep in mind, now's the time to buy CDs. Now's the time to support those people however you can. If you have a favorite artist, do something to help make it work. If you have a favorite venue, such as ours, make sure to help to make that work. And to that point, I want to thank Marcia Todd, who so far has given us $5,000 since December to help keep this showroom open. And Helen Nation gave us $500 to come for 5 months to any show she wants to. You know, that's what Marcia gets too, right? So Marcia's had the opportunity of seeing shows she has no idea about, right? But she comes to see it, and that's an interesting part. And those who do have it, if you can, that's how we get it done. And so tonight, when there's going to be, one of the things I've been seeing on Facebook is various promoters, presenters, and musicians wondering how they're going to get through. Some of them are talking about doing live streams and maybe doing house concerts or something like that, small groups where they can get it out and people will help and start paying. We've been doing this for 8 years on YouTube, and over the 350,000 views that we've had so far, we've managed to raise over $500. Yeah, right. So it's one of the things that there's a big shift going on, and we all feel it. We're all going to change our lives. Something's going to happen. We're all going to be taking 3 weeks off. It's going to mean that we're going to come back to a different world. It's going to have to reshape itself and find out how it's going to work. And that's when we start finding out where our priorities are. And culture is one of the things that needs to maintain. Without cultural facts, culture taking place, we'll just be in trouble. That's what's always kept the world together. It's been culture. You know. And to that point tonight, because of the situation, we've been starting our shows at 7:30 religiously. Well, 10 to 8, quarter to 8, 5 to, but not the 8 o'clock ones that don't start till 8:30. So tonight, because it's an 8 o'clock start, and the reason it's 8 o'clock, because I found out a long time ago we were having Martyn Joseph. So it was long before we even thought of 7:30 show. So I've been anxious for this show as much as this girl has, and these ones here, and everybody that's in here is like, this Martyn Joseph. And it's a real pleasure, a real treat to have him come to the showroom. So tonight we're going to be doing one long set. If you need to get up and urinate, don't go do it. But just don't disturb anybody. But we're going to have fun. We're going to go on that journey that only Martyn Joseph can take us on. It's such a fun time. Have you ever known anyone to enjoy playing music as much as this guy does? It's just all over him. It just emulates from him. Ooh, I love it. He's here. Let's get him to the stage, please, Martyn Joseph.
Shouldn't read the news no more. Same things happen like they did before. I try to walk out every day feel the love upon my face to get back to you. Back to you. Somewhere between the night and day, a blazing trail of light is seen, and there beyond that kindling fire, a reckless passion waits for me to get back to you, to get back to you, back to you, back to you. Some days I feel the reasons for all the things I've done. Some days I'm punching thin air, yeah. I can't find even one. Get back to you, back to you, back to you, back to you. Well, I'm not a king, but I could be a clown, and I'm looking for the circus that has already left town. And it's all in my hands, but they're not very strong. I shouldn't read the news no more. Same things happen like they did before. I try to walk out every day, feel the love upon my face to get back to you, to get back to you. Gotta get back to you, back to you. Yes, I do. Back to you. Oh, back to you. Get back to you. Back to you. Back to you. La 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 la. Hey, na na na. Back to you. Na 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 na. Hey, na na na. Back to you. Na 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 na. Hey, na na na. Back to you. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Back to you. Here come the young, with open minds and hearts, inclusive from the start. Here come the young, here come the young. Might just save the day, you know you best get out the way. Here come the young, tired of all your fight, and they're tired of all these years, and they're tired of blazing crosses, they're tired of narrow fear, they're tired of smelling hunger, and they're tired of hearing lies, and they're tired of the big divide. These tired girls and boys, here come the young, here come the young, with open minds and hearts, inclusive from the start. Here come the young, here come the young. I just saved the day, now you best get out the way. Here come the young, tired of assassination, and they're tired of the military threat, and they're tired of talk and trickle down, and they're tired of crippling debt, and they're tired of corporations, and they're tired of broken trust, and they're tired of being slaughtered, and their dreams that turn to rust. Here come the young, open minds and hearts, inclusive from the start. Here come the young, here come the young. Might just save the day, now you best get out the way. Here come the young. Very good, all right. tired of rising ocean. They're tired of bigotry, tired of racist leaders eroding liberty. And they're tired of a lack of shame, and they're tired of a failed accord, of colluders in a private game. They're tired of law ignored, and they're tired of their future being taken from them now. So you better watch your back, Trump, because they're coming for you now. Here come the young, here come open minds and hearts, inclusive from the start. Here come the young, here come the young. Might just save the day, you best get out the way. Here come the young, here come the young. With open minds and hearts, inclusive from the start. Here come the young, here come the young. Might just save the day, yeah, you best get out the way. Here come the young, here come the young. Oh, good evening, Duncan. It's been a while. It's nice to be back. It's nice to be back on the island. It's nice to be anywhere, to be honest. Not easy to be anywhere at the moment either. So thanks for coming out and risking your lives. I hope we find some hope in the room tonight. I really do. I don't know if I'm the guy to give you that, but we'll try. This guy's probably not, though. This is a Tom Waits song. I remember that TV program called The Wire. When you walk through the garden, watch your back. I beg your pardon. Walk the straight and narrow track. Walk with Jesus. Save your soul. Gotta keep the devil way down in the hole. Got the fire and the fury at his command. You don't need to worry, just hold on to Jesus' hand. Keep you safe from Satan when the thunder rolls. You know you gotta keep the devil way down in the hole. All the angels sing about Jesus and his mighty sword. Shield you with their wings, keep you close to the Lord. Don't pay heed to no temptation, hands are so cold. Gotta keep the devil way down in the hole, way down in the hole, down in the hole. Help me keep the devil way down in the hole, way down in the hole, down in the hole. Help me keep the devil way down in the hole, way down in the hole. gathered group of people, but I will play as if you were 1,000 people, all right? No compromise up here. I appreciate you being here, and a lot of artists mute their instruments when they tune, but I feel that you should share in my pain. Tim, could you give me a little bit more volume on the microphone up here, please? That'd be great. Thank you. So, got a couple of new records out right now, and this is from an album called Here Come the Young. Oh, my soul, do you wonder like you do? Oh, my soul, there's nothing left to prove. Oh, my soul, let me get out of your way. Oh, my soul, wake up and seize the day. I've been listening to my heart's poetry. I try and cast aside what I do not need, but you cannot run all the voices from the past, but you can put them in the place that they should be. Oh, my soul, why do you wonder like you do? Oh, my soul, there's nothing left to prove now. Oh, my soul, let me get out of your way. Oh, my soul, and seize the day. I've been tracing your long journey, the sad contours of your face. I've been thinking about the hunger I can see there in your eyes, your hidden story that's just the measure of your grace. Oh, my soul, like you do. Oh, my soul, nothing left to prove, son. Oh, my soul, you get out of your way. Oh, my soul, wake up and seize the day. Promises, every one of these verses can never render exactly where all this lies, but in the mystery I keep returning to where I need to be. I keep running towards those wild and empty BC skies. Oh, my soul, do you wonder like you do? My soul, got nothing left to prove. Oh, my soul, get out of your way. Oh, my soul, come seize the day. Oh, my soul, oh, my soul, oh, my soul, let me get out of your way. Oh, my soul, wake up and seize the day. This goes back to 1994, I think. Hang the world, give me a river, God's aspirin to my soul. Hang the world, let me stay here, just let it flow, let it flow. Hang the world, give me a river, for reasons that are plain to see. stay here. I'm just so damn tired of chasing me. I have seen what you can only dream of. I have seen the writing on the wall. Now it's time to rest, so I can give my best. No sense in rushing after all. Yeah, hang the world. I should tell you something, actually. I haven't confessed this very often, but that line, I have seen what you can only dream of, I pinched that from the film Blade Runner. You know that scene where Harrison Ford and Rika Howe are on top of that neon lit building, and we think that Harrison Ford is going to die, but in fact it's the replicant that's fading away. And Rika Howe went off script and made this beautiful speech of, I have seen things that you can only dream of, ships off the coast of Orion, all this sort of stuff. And only he didn't say, I've seen what you've only dreamed of. I kind of paraphrased it so no one would ever know that I took it from the film Blade Runner. But now you know, and you're sworn to secrecy. I have seen what you can only dream of. I have seen the writing on the wall. Now it's time to rest, so I can give my best. There's no sense in rushing after all. Yeah, hang the world, give me a river. God's aspirin to my soul, to my soul. Hang the world, let me stay here, just let it flow, let it flow. And death, you must be joking if you think you want this day. There's 1,000 raging reasons why you just can't have your way, no way, no way. Hang the world and give me a river. God's aspirin to my soul, to my soul. Hang the world, let me stay right here and let it flow. Hey, let it flow. Let it flow. Let it flow. Do-do-do-do-do. La 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 la. Yeah. Thank you so much. So let me see, in the early 90s, I was signed to one of those big record labels that was called Sony Music. And they were trying to turn me into a pop star, which didn't take place. Hence my presence amongst you tonight in Duncan, for which I'm extremely grateful, and I wouldn't change a thing. But I was on tour with I toured with people like, I don't know, Simon & Garfunkel and Celine Dion. Yes, Celine Dion, believe it or not. There was a mismatch. I'm singing about redundant miners while she's singing about the Titanic or whatever. But anyway, in 1993, I found myself on tour with an Irish band called Clannad, and we were touring across America, and we played 2 nights at a beautiful theater in Boston, Massachusetts. And at the end of the first night, the Boston Globe gave the show a glowing review. Well, Clannad got 3 beautiful paragraphs, and I got 2 lines at the bottom. It said, Martyn Joseph has a profound experience of his own. It could go either way, couldn't it? He kept the audience quietly off guard with his fine sense of humor whilst delivering punchy protest songs. He's a fine talent, and he reminds me of Phil Oakes. And I thought, oh, good, who the hell is Phil Oakes? Well, I didn't, but I'm glad you do. That's good, that's good. But I didn't at the time. What's that? Yes, he did. He did indeed. And I discovered that he was a contemporary of Joan Baez and Bob Dylan. He was singing great protest songs there in the sort of mid-'60s, and he carried on singing protest songs when Bob Dylan stopped singing protest songs. And as the lady just told us, he did die young. He sadly took his own life. He lost his fight with mental health in 1975 and took his life in his sister's house. But I became a fan. I collected his music, and it wasn't the days of Spotify or anything like that, you know, so you actually had to buy records and stuff and search them out, and it was a privilege to have been compared to him. And then cut to 6 years ago, and I'm checking into in Memphis in a sort of music conference festival I was playing at, and there was a lady there checking me in, and she had a name tag on her chest, and it said Sonny Oakes. And I said rather flippantly, I don't suppose you're related to Phil, are you? And she said, yes, I'm his sister. And we became great pals. She's 84 years old. She's got her own radio show there in New York State. She's a firecracker of a lady, puts shows on. And after a few years of friendship, she said to me, would you consider doing a whole album of my brother's songs? Yeah, she did. And I thought about this, you know, because a few years ago I did a whole album of Bruce Springsteen songs because I figured his career needed a push, you know, and I'm a sucker for a good cause. But I thought, you know, the great thing about this is that nobody knows, or very few people know Phil's songs, sadly, and so that I could record this album and they'd all be fresh songs. So I went ahead and did it, and we released it a few months ago, and we've had a tremendous response to it. And the amazing thing, folks, is that these songs that Phil wrote 50 years ago are so still pertinent to everything that's going on in our world today. So I'm going to do a couple of Phil Oakes songs here from the album. Well, I marched to the Battle of New Orleans at the end of the early British War. Young land started growing, young blood started flowing. I ain't marching anymore. I killed my share of Indians in 1,000 different fights. I was there at the Little Big Horn. I saw many men lying, I saw many more dying, but I ain't marching anymore. It's always the old who lead us to war, but it's always the young to fall. Now look at all we've won with the saber and the gun. Tell me, is it worth it all? I stole California from the Mexican land, and I fought in the bloody Civil War. Yes, I even killed my brother and so many others, but I ain't marching anymore. I marched to the battles of the German trench in a war that was bound to end all wars. Well, I must have killed 1 million men, now they want me back again. I ain't marching anymore. It's always the old who lead us to war, and it's always the young to fall. Now look at all we've won with the saber and the gun. Tell me, is it worth it all? The final mission in the Japanese sky, I let off the mighty mushroom roar. When I saw the cities burning, I knew I was learning. I ain't marching anymore. Now the labor leaders screaming as they close the missile plants. United Fruit screams at the Cuban shore. Call it peace or treason, love or reason. I ain't marching anymore. No, I ain't marching anymore. There's no place in this world where I belong when I'm gone, and I won't know the right from wrong when I'm gone. You won't find me singing on this song when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. That's your line, Duncan. I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. I won't feel the flowing of time when I'm gone. All the pleasures of love will not be mine when I'm gone. My pen won't pour a lyric line when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have breathe the bracing air when I'm gone. I can't even worry about my cares when I'm gone. I won't be asked to do my fair share when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. I won't be running from the rain when I'm gone. I can't even suffer from this pain when I'm gone. Can't say who's to praise and who's to blame when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have to do it while I'm here. Won't see the golden of the sun when I'm gone. The evenings and the mornings, there'll be one when I'm gone. And I can't be singing louder than the guns when I'm gone. So I guess all my days won't be dances of delight when I'm gone, and the sands will be shifting from my sight when I'm gone, and I can't add my name into the fight when I'm gone. So I guess I'll have I won't be laughing at the lies when I'm gone. I can't question how or when or why when I'm gone, and I can't live proud enough to die when I'm gone. So I guess I'll there's no place in this world we'll belong when we're gone. I don't think we'll know right from wrong when we're gone, and you might not find us singing on this song when we're gone. So I guess we'll have to do it. I guess we'll have to do it. I guess we'll have to do it. Took my son and his tear-stained face out of Sunday school. Chapel hymn can't fade away. Left his mother with the other, drove across our town, going to the place where the seagulls and the cranes play. On a Sunday over Cardiff Bay, this is one day of our life. On this Sunday over Cardiff Bay, know that I love you. All of my life. The old man in the side street, he made you smile. He waved at us both and we both waved back. Down on through Butte Street, the mud of a low tide. They tear the old things down, my son. Some things will forever stay the same. Sunday over Cardiff Bay, it's one day of our life. On this Sunday over Cardiff Bay, know that I love you. Hope you realize it. We saw Captain Scott out on the Terra Nova, setting sail for the open sea. Hey, maybe one day when you're older, you come down this way, just think on me. It'll be a Sunday over Cardiff Bay. It'll be one day of your beautiful life. And on that Sunday over Cardiff Bay, hey, know that I loved you. Sunday over Cardiff Bay, this is one day of our lives, yes. And on this Sunday over Cardiff Bay, just know that I love you. Good. Everyone okay? Just checking. Any requests? I was hoping for one of my songs, sir, to be honest. Walk down the mountain? Oh, gosh. No, it's okay. No, stick there. I haven't played that for ages. What's that?
Whoever it was brought them.
Which would you prefer of those two?
Which do you prefer to play? I give you, it's hard.
I hate them both. Let's do Walk Down the Mountain. I haven't done that for. I don't even know if I can do it. I like the challenge. You can. If I forget the words, I'm going to be like. Looks like I'm ready, though it's crazy, I know. There's not a star in the stormy sky that's gonna guide me home. And all this heavy baggage brought me to this place. Left me high, left me stranded, left me staring at this face. I'm gonna walk down the mountain with my head in the sky. I'm gonna walk down the mountain, 'cause if I stay here I will die. Static on the radio, grant me the strength to rise and walk down the mountain, head in the sky. I'm gonna walk down the mountain. If I stay here, I will die. Walk down the mountain with my head in the sky. I'm gonna walk down the mountain, 'cause if I stay here, I will die. If I stay here, I will die. Thanks for asking. Let me do another song off that album, actually. If you think, yeah, let me do. Rhythm in the rooms of love, patterns and looms of love, touches that core spark, laughing and the lark, silence in the speech, suckle on sweet peach, within the many folds, the blessed untarnished gold, yeah, love, soaring symphonies and dance band serenades. Love is why the heart beats, and love is when it fades. Love can't be diminished by death and body blows. Love can't be extinguished by blindfold in the rose, no sir. Sentimental rhymes of love, tepid testing times of love, seasons in the storm, euphoric and the norm, concentrated days, reciprocal displays, emerging in the shapes and the glory and the grapes, yeah, love, soaring symphonies and dance band serenades. Love is why the heart beats, yeah, love is when it fades. Love can't be diminished by death and body blows. Love can't be extinguished by blindfold in the road. Clarity, the call of love, setting out your stall of love. Too much wine mistake, feelings turned opaque. Purpose in the place, soft and tender space, pounding heart embrace. The selflessness, the grace of love, soaring symphonies and dance band serenades. Love is why the heart beats, yeah, love is when it fades. And love can't be diminished by a death and body blow. Love can't be extinguished by blindfold in the road. That's what it is. That's what love is. That's what it is. Thank you for being liberating army. I throw flowers at your feet. I run to touch you in the rubble and the ruin, to give you everything I got left on these streets and say thank you. Thank you for declaring there can be a tomorrow, breaking through the wire of the enemy line. I run to kiss my sweet girl soldier. I'm falling from refuge, I'm falling out of time. It's time. Amazing day, sanctuary. Can I stay? I love the way you see me. Find me now. Kiss my soul awake, oh thank you. Thank you for seeing all my pieces still standing, building a fortress around what you found. All my storms of defeat and my quiet concessions are a memory now, memory now. Amazing day, sanctuary. Can I stay? I love the way you see me. You find me now. You kiss my soul awake. Amazing day, sanctuary. Can I stay? I love the way you see. You found me now, the way you see. Find me now. I just love the way that you see me. Find me now. You kiss my soul awake. Thank you for being a liberating army. I throw the flowers to your feet, run to kiss my sweet girl soldier. I want to give you everything I need to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, 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 thank you. Merci beaucoup. Gracias, grazie. Danke wel, danke schön. Tusen tak. And in Welsh, diolch yn fawr. Welsh being basically a good excuse just to spit at each other. Thank you. Gratitude. Then I saw her face. She was just walking down the street singing is a song I wrote for my mother. Mothers in the rain, they know the pain of standing there, waiting at the school gate of everything they cannot see. Lift me to the sink, you wipe the gravel from my knees. Somehow you knew, I don't know how, but you still do. Her name is Rose, following her footsteps there she goes. Come to know love constant as the dawn. Her name is Rose, and she's layer upon layer of the light. She faces the coming storm, weathers every breaking storm for me. Never in the foreground, but always waiting by the door, picking up the pieces of my jigsaw from the floor. It's you that will find me. It is you that prays so hard. It's you that lit the lanterns there in the alleyways and yard. Her name is Rose, following her footsteps there she goes. Come to know love constant as the dawn. Name is Rose, she's layer upon layer of the light. She faces the coming storm, weathers every breaking storm for me. And all the miles that you pushed me and the tear-felt goodbyes, who can know the joy and pride of a mother's eyes? After another, you were never meant to see. Maybe there's something of her soul in you, and how proud she would have been to know I too was carried gently by you not that long ago. Nothing now could separate us, and I will always know. Your name is Rose. Her name is Rose. Rose, and she is layer upon layer of the light. She faces the coming storm, weathers every breaking storm for me. And this love goes on and on and on and on and on and on it goes. On and on and on and on and on it goes. The love goes on and on and on and on and on and on it goes. And your name, your beautiful name, your wonderful name, wonderful. I wrote this for my mum's 80th birthday to save money on a present. Popped round the house that day and I sang it for her. She cried, I cried, and that was all it was ever meant to be. And here I am singing it in Duncan, BC. A few years ago in Cardiff, Wales, my hometown, I did a big show, and I thought it'd be a nice time to pay tribute to her. So just before the interval, I played this song and said some very nice things, and everyone applauded, and I thought, she'll like that. She comes backstage during the interval, barges through my dressing room door, gives me a right bollocking for telling everyone how old she is. Well, she's now 85. Spoke to her today, she sends you her love. She's going through it because my father's within the mist of Alzheimer's now, disappearing almost completely. He left the home last October. He's in hospital. She visits him every day. But through all of this and many more things, she's turned up with the spirit of a teenager, the wisdom of 85 years, and without a negative atom in her soul. She is magnificent. As are many, many other women that I've had the good fortune to meet as my guitar became my passport. Took me to some beautiful places like BC and some very tough places as well. And often in those tough places, it was the women who stood up when the men sat down. It was the women that brought grace, loyalty, wisdom on a daily basis. And I watched in awe, and I still am. On and on and on it goes, love goes on. On and on and on it goes, the love goes. On and on and on and on and on and on it goes, and her name, beautiful name, and her name. Her name is Rose. Could I play you a brand new song? Would that be all right? I might as well play it somewhere for the first time, I suppose. Not quite the first time, but been working at the songs. I believe that you really shouldn't just write a song and then record it. You really need to get out and play it live, because the song takes on a life of its own when you play it live. When you see the whites of your eyes, those that I can see anyway, which is not a lot, but you know, you just play the guitar in a different way. Your attitude is different to when you're just strumming away quietly in your kitchen, and so the song grows over time, and you learn a little bit more. Like, you get inside it. So I've always tried to do that for at least 8-9 months before I even ventured near a studio with them. But my parents bought me a first guitar when I was 10 years old. It was 1970, and I was watching Glenn Campbell on a British TV program called Top of the Pops. And he was singing a song called Honey Come Back, and I was taken by the melancholy of this. I don't know what it was. Even as a 10-year-old, I was drawn to that stuff. And I just said, Dad, I want one of those, I want one of those. So Christmas Day, 1970, he bought me a guitar. My mum and Dad bought me a guitar. But that's not what I wanted. I wanted the leather jacket with the thong things hanging down it. Glenn Campbell was wearing. But they bought me a book called Burt Whedon's Play in a Day. And by the end of Christmas Day 1970, I could play Bobby Shafto very, very slowly and painfully. And I woke up on Boxing Day with huge blisters on my fingers, which have remained there to this day. And it was off. I was off and running. And a few weeks later, I wrote my very first song. I went into my parents' bedroom, and I said, Mum, I've written a song. And she went, okay. And I started playing. It was just like a... Where did you go on the day that you said no? I love you, yes I do, but you don't think I'm true. 10 years old, I knew all there was to know about love. I haven't got a clue who Maria was. I doubt she existed. I think I'd bought Tony Christie's. I did what I did for Maria, so I just thought that's a good name to sing a love song about. And that was the first thing I wrote. And I was off and running. And as I said just then in my mum's song, this thing took me around the world and continues to, and the blessing of that. And I always felt that I wanted to get involved and try to use music as a force for good, you know, that a song could make someone somewhere feel like they weren't alone in the world. And obviously, there's a lot of people who need to feel that way, need to be known that they're not forgotten. So I went to some tough places, and always felt like the guitar was the chance to stand up for those folk, and it became my chief psychiatrist, as it were. And I think this song is about my dad. I'm not sure. He bookends the front and the back of the song. It's more of a sort of monologue of a journey of everything that one has felt. But it starts off and ends with one of my first ever memories. I remember my sister and I lying parallel in the back, not parallel, foot to foot, as it were, in the back seat of my father's car in the days before you didn't need to wear safety belts in the back, and all that stuff came in, quite rightly so. But those days, when my parents would put our sleeping bags and we would lie on them, and she would look at that window and I would look at that window. And I remember watching the telegraph wires, going dipping down, and there was always this telegraph pole in the middle that stopped the meeting. So they were just about to meet, and it would like the end. And I got so pissed off at this telegraph because I wanted these wires to kiss and embrace, but it never happened. And so mile after mile, and it's just a stupid memory, and I guess you needed to be there, but that's the memory. Yeah, this is the brand new song. Lying in the back seat of that Renault, eyes wide open to the sky, watching telegraph poles keep wires parted as it looks like they'll collide. It's 1965 and my father's at the wheel, elbow outside. I have felt so much. Out onto an open road, you try to live within the code, yes, you try. Some days love is easy, some nights it's cold, and sometimes it lies. 5 a.m. unseen, unbridled beauty of an ocean that doesn't give a damn. I felt so much. Wide universe felt like a soul converse, much more than I deserve. Now draw closer, my love. I felt so much. I stood amidst the grace of the gentle good in a far-off land. True, we see the view in our hearts from where we get to stand. Am I more alive now than when I first began? The blessed gift of children that bind you to the future and the earth. Ego gets an upgrade to wisdom, then faith is reimbursed. Walk a while with shame, but the healing gain of love, she changes everything. I felt so much. This big wide universe felt like my soul would burn. Much more than I deserve. Now draw closer, my love. Felt so much. This big wide universe felt like a soul could burn. Much more than I deserve. Now draw closer, my love. I felt so much. Some nights I stand at open doors with the rain coming down, and I count them one by one. Seen the sky tonight, I felt the promise and the light of all the shadow drawn. Whenever morning brings. Hope and faith in these things keeps us alive. I felt so much, and I'm lying in the back seat of that rental, eyes open to the sky, watching telegraph poles keep wires parted as it looks like they collide. It's 1965, my father's at the wheel, a bow outside. Thank you. That's good to know. Now this glass is half full, and this glass is heartbreakingly beautiful. Sing that for me. This glass is half full, and this glass is heartbreakingly beautiful, beautiful. Fill it up with those who bend to listen. Fill it up with those who break the fall. Fill it up with the givers and the sharers, with those who build bridges, not walls. And this glass is half full, and this glass is heartbreakingly beautiful. Yes, it is. And this is heartbreakingly beautiful, beautiful. Fill it up with the poets and the carers. Fill it up with those who seek to serve. Fill it up with the givers and the sharers, 'cause they know what the rest is worth. And this glass is half full, and this glass is, yes it is, and this is half full, and this glass is heartbreakingly beautiful. And again, now this glass, yeah, is half full. This glass is heartbreakingly beautiful. Fill it up with a human spirit. Fill it up with that beautiful sound. Fill it up with the vision of dreamers. They find hope when there's just none around. Fill it up with the peace that finds justice, and fill it up with compassion, sweet grace, and fill it up with all the big contradictions and your pride and brilliant faith. I said this glass is, and this is heartbreakingly beautiful. just don't see it. And some days you just don't feel it. And some days you might not believe it, but my friend, it is still. Promise you. Heartbreakingly beautiful. Yes, it is. Thank you. Thank you very much. I just want to take a quick moment here to tell you something about a foundation, and Let Yourself Trust, that my wife and I started 6 years ago, that runs alongside this music. Our remit is to work with grassroots organizations all around the world, in fact. And when I would say grassroots, small, it could be an individual, a husband and wife, or a small group of people that spot something locally or globally that they're unhappy about, that they're passionate about putting right. And they're dedicated to that cause, so much so that they don't get a lot of chance to raise the pennies they need. And if you do give them pennies, they do not waste a single one. Those are the sort of things that we search out. I've often become patron of those organizations in the past, but I wanted to do more. And so we formed the trust. We're a registered charity, all that sort of stuff. And we change project every 6 months, which is really interesting. So we work with a group for 6 months. We give them publicity from stages, through social media presence and all the rest of it. And at the end of those 6 months, we give them an amount of money, which usually does an incredible amount of good for them. And as I said, they don't waste a single penny. I've run out of brochures. I've got about 4 left over there. So please, I prefer if you didn't take them away, but please feel free at the end of the concert to go up and just rummage through one. You can find all this online on our website anyway, but each one of these pages represents hope. So we started off in Palestine, in the West Bank. I went to play a festival there, and I was so dismayed by the wall around young people without a prospect of a future or university or travel or anything else, nothing to do with the virus. That's their life. I found this children's theatre in the midst of this, where a beautiful gentleman called Abed gives young people a means of positive expression in such a negative place by giving them musical instruments, bringing in teachers to show them how to write songs, how to dance, how to take photographs, how to paint. That was the first catalyst, the first one we went for. But since then, we're on our 13th project. We've worked globally. This is the Kamare project, stopping these beautiful little 12, 13-year-old girls from being trafficked into the sex slave trade there. We've worked with teen suicide in Massachusetts, with albinism in Africa, with the Grassy Narrows First Nations in Ontario to help them get a clean-up when their water supply was poisoned in the 60s by your government, still waiting for justice, but it looks like they're there now. We've worked in Gaza, we've worked in India, a homeless shelter in Swansea in Wales, a group of people in the UK who simply facilitate people with severe disabilities to be able to go enjoy music festivals. It's not all sort of, third world stuff, as it were. We've worked with street kids in Europe. So thousands of kids now living on the streets of Europe whose parents have perished or parents are with them, whatever it might be. And these guys from Belgium, they wheel out this flight case into the town squares and pull it out, and on either side are these beautiful educational tools so that the kids gather around, they dress up as clowns or whatever, and teach them there on the street for 6 hours a day and find shelter for them, and just amazing things being done by small communities of people around the globe. And it's all there. Our latest project is called Camp Jojo, and it's a little place in England where families who have children with learning disabilities are allowed to go for a weekend's break, where there were many volunteers to take the pressure off them, so they can all enjoy a fantastic weekend together, and have their needs taken care of, and just feel the freedom of that, the relief for just 48 hours, so they can go back renewed, ready to take on the challenges of their lives. Beautiful work, folks. And the amazing thing is, thanks to the kindness of my audience, we've now raised £500,000 and given it away in the last 6 years. So if that interests you in any way, please go and take a look. There's a bucket for donations. There's also a CD over there called Kiss the World Beautiful, and I've taken a bunch of artists to some of these places to show them, and they've donated some tracks to that CD, and that just goes straight to the foundation. But above all else, in these very strange times that we're living in, this to me is the beacon of hope. It reminds me on a daily basis that we're not the only ones, that there is a vast army, a majority a majority army across the globe that wake up every day and try and walk in a straight line and do the right thing. Try to find justice for everyone, a table where we can all eat. People that don't stock up and take all the toilet rolls and all the food from... but you know what I'm saying, that, you know, that social media shoves a negativity down our throats every single day, and it will do, on the TV, and we can drown in that. We can go down a dark hole of cynicism and fear. That's not who we are, and this reminds me of that every day. So have a look if you want to. I wrote this song 6 years ago in that refugee camp, and Abed, the gentleman I was telling you about, he was stood with his daughter in his arms like this, his 4-year-old daughter, and I looked at her and I looked at him, and I had such an amazing, sad but beautiful time, and I said, Abed, I don't know how you do this. I really don't, because if you put me in here for 6 months and she was my responsibility, it wouldn't be long before I was thinking of doing something stupid. And how do you do it? And he looked at me with his beautiful, wise Arabic eyes, and he said, Martyn, if all I do is get angry or sad, I give her no hope for her future. And he said, I don't have the luxury of despair. I knew at that moment 2 things. One was I wanted to help him, and secondly, I knew I had the title of a song. Translucent light of another pre-dawn squints her eyes and prepares to walk on from Hebron's stone to Nazareth's hill. There's hope in the eyes of the hopeless still, yes there is. Some walls fall that come from love, but all walls fall that come from hate. You're poking and you're pushing to make folk bite. Houses torn down by a military might, but people need to live, people need to roam. A dream and people need a home, but rage in your eye will not let in the light, and love makes it better a job of the fight as the sun rises in my children's eyes. I do not have the luxury of despair. As the night rips stars across this ancient sky, I do not have the luxury of despair. Seen through the eyes of a blameless child, suffer they do to come to you. There's a bike in the road where it shouldn't be. See that 12-year-old taken into custody, where he's scarred, scared, stripped of rights. What the eyes don't see, well the mind can't fight. You just don't do that, but you just do. And sometimes I'd like to, as the sun in those children's eyes, I do not have the luxury of despair. As the night rips stars across this BC sky, we do not have the luxury of despair. And as the sun, as it rises in my children's eyes, I do not have the luxury of despair. together in this sacred space. I won't grace you with the passion of fear, dread. Look me in the eye and see my heart. I'll look you in your eye, I'll see your heart. Just look me in the eye and see my heart. Plant trees of life, come on, let's bury the dead. And if the cockerel crowed, what would I deny? I hope any tyranny that met my eye, or the right of domain over the mind of a man, or the lie we can't be equal and free. The walls divide. There is another side. There is a deep blue sea, and it was made for you and me. And as the sun rises in those children's eyes, we don't have the luxury of despair. As the night rips stars across the ancient skies, we don't have the luxury of despair. As the sun, as it rises in my children's eye, I do not have the luxury of despair. And as the night rips stars across the ancient sky, I don't have the luxury of despair.
Thank you. Still okay? All right. Well, I haven't got all that off my chest. This is when my daughter was born in 1993. I wrote her a song called "Gift to Me." In parenthesis, "You're going to cost me a fortune." 25 years later, she gets another song. Hair of golden sun, light I'll always know. Your laughter carries rainbows. I held you to the sky not long ago. Now there you fly. See how high you go. I'm driving her back to London. It's home from home for her. Swapping tunes and iPhones. She plays me the Kings of Leon. I play her the Rolling Stones. And time slips away. All that's gathered will remain. I'm driving her home now, once again. Mine is not to know. Mine is just to ask. I just want to know that you're okay. I want everything to fit in place at last. All of the pieces that we found. Take away my best, and please leave all the rest. Driving her back to London, home from home for her. Swapping tunes and iPhones. She plays me Beach House, I play her Blur. Time it slips away, and all that's gathered will remain. Driving her home now, once again. Walk without wounds and light up all those rooms with your faith. I still might have some words for you, but there's none that come to mind. I know there's not much vocabulary that I have ever left behind. I just hope I hope I wasn't too much. But you are love, beautiful, so much more than words could ever know. London, it's home from home for you. We've been swapping tunes on iPhones. I played you Bruce, you played me Muse. Times just slipped away, but everything that's gathered, it always remains. So I'm driving you home. Yes, I'm driving you home. I would do it again and again. The 38 to 40 years that I've been writing songs for a living, I've come to recognize that you need to pay attention to the muse that is in front of you. That is to say, if there's a song floating around, you have to pay attention. Not think you can discard the moment and it's still going to be there. As we drove up a motorway, or a freeway as you call it, called the M4 between Cardiff and London, I knew there was a song in the car. Sometimes, you might be at home. Maybe those of you might play guitar or something, and you're sitting there and you think, oh, I got a little riff here. This is nice. I like that. Okay, yeah, I got that. Okay, that's great. You go away and I'll go and celebrate, have a cup of coffee. You come back in 20 minutes, it's gone. Bruce Cockburn now has it. And I want it. So you got to make a little recording. So I made some notes while she went to get an expensive coffee at the service station. Springsteen talks about the verse being the mind and the chorus the heart. I like that. The chorus here is the fun bit where we get to swap generational tunes on a long journey, emotional journey, taking someone back to university, letting go, holding on, fragility, pride. The verses where I get to say some things I needed to say and some things I didn't realize I needed to say, because the wonderful thing about writing is as you do that, these keys to visible parts of your soul just appear. And it pours out, and you didn't have any idea. And anyone can do that. You don't need to be a musician. I think that the way kids honor us as parents is to take away the best of who we've been and to leave behind the rest. That is to say, in old-fashioned speak, that we pray that their sins would be their own and nothing that we have imparted unto them. One minute you stand before them as a god, and the next minute they see right through your bullshit. And if you're really fortunate in those moments, they become your best friends. It's beautiful. As I look at my young kids and their partners and their wider generation of families and friends, see those young people in America marching for gun control against the odds of all the bullies. Young people marching for climate change. A 16-year-old girl from Sweden speaking wisdom to the world while the world's most powerful man bullies her. Well, there's a bigger picture here, and my hope resides within it. Because I find them more inclusive, more open, less racist than my generation has been. It's understandable, we've made a lot of progress. Go back 100 years to where we are now, the way we thought, but we just haven't gone far enough. And these are particularly monumental moments, but I have hope in the new generation. because it will not be long before they get to make some decisions, before they get to take up the vote, before they get to take responsibility on committees and all the rest of it, as long as we give them a world that they can inherit. Here come the young folks. But you can count yourself amongst the young as long as you agree with every word I just said and the song and everything else. You can be part of the revolution too. Again and again. Again. The song fades away on the album. Finally, picks up the little guy. This is a tenor guitar. Has 4 strings, as you can see. Came about at the turn of the century when banjo players were being drowned out by the sound of brass instruments. What a shame. And the banjo boys didn't like it, so they picked up these 4-string guitars to give themselves a little bit more volume in the room. This one was made for me by a gentleman called Mr. David Oddie. He was in his 70s. He sadly passed away last year, but this is a desk that his father sat at, 100-year-old mahogany. It's tuned G, D, A, D. I know that because it says it there on the back. Look at that. And what else? Oh, capo on the 2nd fret. I'm using Alexia strings, 12 to 53 light gauge. I say all this, it just saves a long conversation with someone after the show. And you know who you are too, right? All right, Duncan. Let's get you singing again. You can't kill love, not even with hate. Fate don't lie, she just rolls with all the dumb choices we make here. For a while back there, I lost my way. Thought I would die taken down by a price I just couldn't pay. Now I'm on my way, every day a little closer. Every day a little closer on my way. Try. On my way, running, loving, stumbling. I'm running, loving, stumbling on my way. Man is a fool, and a heart like a stone. Himself dry, he drinks himself right down to the bone. But no matter what they do to you, you're always free to go and choose. Just 'cause they beat you down hard, my sweet friend, that don't mean you have to lose. Rise up, let this room tell you why I am on my way. Closer on my way. On my way, I'm on my way. Running, loving, stumbling. I'm running, loving, stumbling on my way. day a little closer on my way. On my way. Running, loving, stumbling on my way. Every day a little closer now. Every day. One more time, a little bit louder, everybody. Every day a little closer. Duncan Showroom. I'll search for you. One more rehearsal on our way. Maybe just one more. And I'll do it again. Well, the heart is a mystery. Stumble out of bed each day and struggle to be free. Stood by an ocean raging blue. Big wave cracked the sidewalk and I fell down there with you, fell in with you. Scoured the land in the sunset glow. Think you know, my friend, you just don't know. No, you don't. That's why the heart is a mystery. Break it in two, you might see things you couldn't see before. Here we go, Duncan. 1, 2, 3, 4. I searched for you, found and lost you on the way. It was over the hill of a better day. I searched for you, every mile I couldn't comprehend. I searched for you. I'll do it again. Excellent. Should only frame you in a metaphor, not cast you off in our own image anymore. Big questions etched across that great BC sky. It's the weight and the reason of everything we'd like to know, don't you know? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I found and lost you on the way. It over the hill of a better day. Every mile I couldn't comprehend. I searched for you. Gonna do it again. So the blessings, so the curse. Seen my best, seen my worst. Seen a little beauty and I've seen a little hate. Great indifference and a twist of fate. Seen a lot of passion and empathy. Power and the greed of the me. Seen a lot of suffering, seen a lot of good. Felt the big life love of a neighborhood. A needle in the arm and the sadness grow. Holy and the hidden and the outcast. Seen a lot of surplus in the wrong place in the eyes of the broken. I thought I saw your face. Well, all right. Oh. I found and lost you on the way, over the hill of a better day. Stranded here in a passion play. Just give me a sign, I'll be there straight away. I searched for you, stood in line till I don't know when. I searched for you, every mile I couldn't comprehend. I searched for you. I'll do it again, again, your heart is a mystery. Stumble out of bed each day and struggle to be free. Stood by the ocean raging blue. And I searched for you. Ladies and gentlemen of Duncan and surrounding districts. Thank you. Thanks for coming out tonight. I know we were not many, but you felt like I was playing a stadium gig here. You were great. Thank you so much. I indebted to Tim for doing the sound and the broadcast and the lights and everything else, and to Longevity John and long-suffering Georgia. But what a character John is. I've known him, and I love people who are consistent, and he's consistently crazy and beautiful and just full of enthusiasm and love and life, and you know, you walk into this place and it's an absolute wonder, and I could spend days walking around here but it's great. He sticks to the task, and Georgia too, of trying to keep music live. And these things are unfathomable in the long run, because we never know, you know, what happens in an evening where art is present. The job of it all, as I said, to try and remind you that you're not alone in the world. And people will come in with stories and baggage, and they may leave with a different frame of mind, or at least the thought, you know what, I can keep going, whatever it might be. And all that happens because people like John and Georgia and Tim and others around the country labor to try and keep music live and keep art alive so that it can enter our lives and make such a difference. So John, Georgia, thank you. Thanks. I hope we found some hope in the room tonight. I hope you felt it. I could stay a lot, but I think I've said enough. Amen. Shanti, Shalom, and Shalom. Shoot us, lynch us high, run us down, you don't get far. Board up every window to all the light there will ever be. You won't find the silence of love's majority. I need you brave. I want you brave, I need you strong to sing along. You are beautiful, I'm not wrong. Even today this timeline is fine, enough for us to find the path ahead and let the whole thing roll. Are you drifting away? Are you falling apart? Let yourself be quietly drawn by the stronger call of what you really love, and let your soul, the one that you brought with you safe to this moment in time, let it whisper to all of your fear, and let it wrestle with the noise of the night. We could just step outside and look at ourselves for a moment. We can say there's a different way that we can be. Don't expect to find all the answers of this world, 'cause if you could somehow, and then you did tell me, who the hell would you be? Are you drifting away? Is everything falling apart? Let yourself be quietly drawn by the stronger call of what you really love. Let your soul, the one that you brought with you safe to this moment in time, let it whisper to all of the fear, and let it wrestle with the noise of the night for you. Midst of these these moments, it's like we've never left. But there is a lifetime of returning, and we are not home yet. This isn't home yet. Need you brave, want you brave, I need you strong. You sang along, you sounded beautiful. For once I'm not wrong. Bring it on, world, throw everything, 'cause in the end love wins big. And there are so many of us with no intention of lying down. But if you're drifting away, if everything's falling apart, I know you just let yourself be quietly drawn by the stronger call of all you really love, and let your soul, that you brought with you, safe to this moment in time. It'll whisper to your fear, it'll wrestle with the noise of the night. Whisper to your fear and wrestle with the noise of the night for you. Amen. Shanti. Shalom and shalom. Shoot us, lynch us high, you could run us down, you will not get far. Board up every window to all the light there will ever be. You just can't find the silence here of love's majority. Thanks everybody. Thanks for coming out. I really appreciate it. You know, without you there'd be no gig, so I appreciate it. I'll hop over to the table in a minute. I have some CDs there. If you'd like to lighten my load, that would be great. But take a look at the foundation and stuff. And but yeah, thank you. You've been a great little bunch of people to play to. I don't care. You've been fantastic. I look forward to the next time I can get back to Duncan and sing songs. Thank you. Years ago, I was asked by the British Parliament to write songs. I know that sounds crazy, but it's the truth. Myself and 3 other renegade folk singers were asked if we would write songs to commemorate the 800th year signing of the Magna Carta, the founding document of democracy. I said, okay, well that's great, sir, but how does that work? He said, well, we'd like you to write songs based on acts of Parliament since the 14th century. Sounds like a barrel of laughs. That's I could hear the top 20 hits pouring out of my guitar. But it was a privilege. Got to go to the House of Commons and sing about my Welsh political hero, Mr. Nye Bevan. They gave us access to all this incredible lore on vellum, goatskin up in the Victoria Tower. That's the original scrolls, just thousands of these things. And amongst the songs I wrote, I pulled out the Health Act from 1946, brought in by the Welsh MP, Mr. Nye Bevan. The Health Act was something that gave us what we call the NHS. And it states on that bill, that parchment, that every man, woman or child, regardless of means or race, will have access to free healthcare from this moment forward. 1946. And I know Canada's got something going on like that too. And I wanted to say thank you to Nye Bevan. So, people say, Martyn, how do you write a song? And I say, I don't know. I go back home. I open my notebook to a big double page. The last thing you want to do is stare at a big blank double page. So on the right-hand side, I put down the title of the song, which I had a working title of Nye, N-Y-E. His real name is Anurine Bevan, but we call him Nye. And on the left-hand side, I start to blitz the page with information. I'm not looking for the opening line of the song. I'm not looking for a chorus. I'm not looking for anything that is succinct or even makes sense at this point. I'm just looking for information about my subject matter, whatever it might be. In this case, it's the NHS. So I start writing down things like doctors, nurses, overworked and underpaid, ambulances, cancer, newborn babies, waiting lists, hip replacements, all sorts of things, outpatients. So suddenly, on the left-hand side, there is no blank page anymore. There's all this writing. And it looks good and it feels good. You think, yeah, I'm getting somewhere here, ideas. Now, Nye Bevan, I know who you are, but I don't know who you are, but Wikipedia does. No shame in that. So you go to Wikipedia and you find all these links. And all these links to this amazing oratory. Wow, boy, did that guy have some things to say. And I start writing down snippets from his speeches like this. The purpose of power is to give it away. Wow. That's the complete opposite of everything we know right now. The purpose of power is to give it away. I write that down. He says, this is my truth, tell me yours. Wow. This is what I believe, but tell me what you believe. Let's sit down. Let's talk. Freedom won't be freedom till poverty is gone. Amen to that. So there's the first 3 lines of my chorus, I reckon. And I just put, so now your dream's alive and strong. So we got the chorus. I'm going back to my information on the left-hand side, and I'm looking for that line in that's going to start the first verse. And I'm still not sure how to do it. And then I noticed that Nye Bevan died on July the 6th, 1960. It was 9 days before I was born. So I wrote that down, 9 days before I was born. And I looked at it, I looked at it, I thought, could we? Yeah, we could. I moved it across to the right-hand side, it became the opening line to the song. 9 days before I was born, you were gone, but what you left behind. Great architect of health reform came forth from your soft heart and tough mind. When nothing good comes easy, let's fight for the dreams that we hold. And you finally got your bill through, though you had to stuff their mouths with gold. Sing the chorus with me. And the purpose of power is to give it away. This is my truth, tell me yours. Freedom won't be freedom. Freedom won't be freedom until poverty is gone. So now your dream's alive and strong. Okay, left-hand side, information, doctors, nurses. Okay, here we go. Nurse tired and drained, it's 2 a.m. She summons up the strength again, she smiles. It's not for the wage she does this job, it's a greater call that can never be defined, no. Surgery, the plaster tape, the arm around the aching and confused. And drugs to give a little one more time to play, they should never be refused. Chorus. And the purpose of power is to give. This is my truth, tell me your freedom. Freedom won't be freedom until poverty is gone. So now your dream's alive and strong. The accident, the cancer cell, the final breath of sacrament at dawn. The beating heart, the broken and the cry of the fragile being born. Just 9 days before I was born, you were gone on, but what you left behind. Your greatest hour remains with us nigh. We're holding on with soft hearts and tough minds. All right, we're getting near the end of the song, and I'm thinking I need a little twist. Maybe a hint of cynicism. Oh, I know, my brothers and sisters across the pond. No society can call itself civilized if the sick are denied through lack of means. You don't believe me, just go take a plane, my friend. Go break your arm and see what it costs down there in New Orleans. And the purpose of power is to. This is my truth, tell me yours. Freedom won't be freedom until poverty is gone. So now your dream's alive and one more time. And the purpose of power is to. Until poverty is gone, so now your dream's alive and strong. how you write the song. Hey! Thank you, Duncan! Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. I got one more for you. One more. Let me take you out into the BC air with a song about BC. What was that? Snow on Cedar, yeah. Back in 1999, I got an invite from a lady called Jo Beatty to go and play a house concert in Prince George. And I thought, I don't know where that is, but okay, let's go. So I'd never been to Canada, and I went up there, and it was approaching my 40th year to the planet, and I was blown away by the size of your province, the beauty of it, the topography. It just made me feel so small and beautifully insignificant. And that's a lesson that we all need from time to time. I remember we started off in Prince George, and then the next night we played in Prince Rupert. Just a short hop, I thought. Oh. The size of these drives, and it rained there all the time we were there. And then that night, I said, so where are we playing? They said, Smithers. I said, okay, is that close? We need to start at 6 a.m. to get there for 6 p.m. So they carried me to the car with a cup of Tim Hortons steep tea ready for me and a Boston cream. And as we drive out from Prince Rupert there, the hot air and the cold air met to form this beautiful mist that threatens to engulf the forest. Only the trees have none of it, and they stretch their necks above that and just gently carry on whatever conversation was rudely interrupted. And then I see a black bear scurrying off into the bush. Only in the song it becomes a grizzly, which is my prerogative. And then the sun comes through the clouds like a Pink Floyd rock show. And I'm thinking, this is amazing. And I know there's a song in the car. So we pay attention. I wind down the window, take a handful of fresh air, and I put it in my pocket, and I start thinking and scribbling, making notes. And by the time I got to Smithers, this was on the go. Snow on cedar, silence fall. The biggest beauty, we are small. Sun-filled crevice, humpback bear, looking for something that's already there. It's taken all this time, yeah, that's your land. It's taken all this time to turn around and see, to turn around and see that the sum of all these parts are we. Strip back layers to touch the core. So many clothes that lie here on the floor, and all of these things and more are true, but none of them alone is ever gonna see us through. It's taken all this time
taken all this time just to turn around and see that the sum of all these parts are we. Snow and cedar, great silence fall. You live in the biggest beauty. We're so small, and life is complicated. And there we are. We're searching all of those trash cans, and we travel so it's taken all this time. It's taken all this time just to turn around and see. It's taken all this time. It's taken all this time just to turn around and see that the sum of all these parts are we. It's alright, Duncan. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. Just wash your hands. When I wrote this song, it started off in the minor key and ends up here in the major, all positive and happy. This really bugs me. So, if it's okay with you, my brothers and sisters, I'm gonna take us back down to the minor key where we all belong. But you won't feel a thing. No.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you very much. I'll pop out in a sec. Thank you very, very much.